Even Keel Fish Shack.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Happy, I don't know what else it is, but
happy beautiful day.
Happy
here, man.
beautiful
Wow.
day. The sun is back. We are at one of our favorite places, and I'm surrounded by some of my favorite people. Even Keel Fish Shack.
That was good. I mean, you could run for office having made that statement with a straight face.
No, it's genuine.
We've been driving
I
you
love
crazy
you guys.
for
Today
the
is
last
the
year
day,
and change.
that we count our blessings. I know tomorrow is technically Thanksgiving, but I say it's never too early to be grateful and to list the things that we are all grateful for, which I did earlier this morning on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group. 93,000 plus members. Welcome to everybody. We're streaming live. And I'm Mike Mayo, Even Keel Fish Shack, corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard. I'm calling it a pre-Thanksgiving seafood friendsgiving, or whatever you call that. And
you got a Bloody Mary on a Wednesday.
And not only my favorite people, but one of my favorite things, which is
a Bloody Mary on
the
a Wednesday.
weekday Bloody Mary that they offer up every day here at Even Keel Fish Shack, unlike some other places that don't deign to make Bloody Mary mix.
Although if we
in the
had
middle
two
of the
more
week.
people, we would have got thrown out of here.
No, not here. They accommodate everybody at Even Keel,
Yeah.
unlike the other place that shall remain nameless, Houston's, the House of No. Okay.
It doesn't take much to lead you down a sordid path. All we have to do is mention a drink. Couldn't have a more beautiful day and a more beautiful setting to be here at the Even Keel Fish Shack. It's absolutely fantastic here. And I do want to say, top of the show here, at least I forget, because it took me a while to get to it this morning. But today would have been my mother's birthday.
Happy birthday in heaven, Miss
She would have
DeForest.
made,
What was her name again? Was it Beatrice? No.
We called her B, actually, like your
So-
mom. But Betty was her actual name.
Betty was her name.
Yeah.
My mom's actual name is Beatrice, and we call her B.
Yeah.
Here's
to
to
your mom.
Betty B.
We miss you.
in
Unbelievable.
heaven. And here's
Great
to my
person.
mom
Yeah.
in
Still
Dania
kicking and
Beach
kicking
at the
ass.
Casa de Mayo. She's gearing up for another Thanksgiving.
She's probably having a stiffer Bloody Mary than you are at this point, realizing that you're her son.
She is,
He's a very dutiful father, son. I actually give him that.
She actually enjoyed a lot of her drink with my dad when they would go out for a cocktail. Not a Bloody Mary because she didn't like spicy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like it too spicy.
You sound like my mom.
Tomato juice and vodka was it just
Oh,
a
yeah?
plain
Wow.
tomato juice
Oh,
and
wow.
vodka. That was their drink.
That's a
and
mix.
so here's to you, mom and dad,
To
and
all
to
the moms and
My
dads
dad
out
was a
there.
bit of a
Everything's
wine
good.
connoisseur. My mom didn't really drink much. She would have an occasional glass of wine. And my dad was a martini guy, I guess, when he went to hard alcohol. I'm not sure if he went gin or vodka. I want to say gin because that was
that's
more popular.
classic. That's old school.
More popular back then.
That was very old school.
Yeah.
That was a very old school.
And a parade of hot women going by as we speak. So you
we,
can't beat this place.
As I call it, the parade of pulchritude, and that's a word that tripped up Lubie and made him go to the dictionaries, but it's one of my SAT words. Pulchritude means beauty. So
you do all that stuff. You do the crossword puzzle and
I do
Wordle, whatever that is. What is
Wordle.
that? Is that
Wordle
like
is-
soccer with the
It's like soccer for brainiacs. Hey, and that's another thing you should be happy about here at Even Keel Fish Shack. And we've got Dave, one of the co-owners, working behind the bar, doing the shucking on the raw bar today. Brad is supposed to be here a little bit later on, but I look over to my TV to the left, and guess what's not on the screen there?
soccer.
because there's zero demand among people that have the
No
intellect to
World Cup.
realize what a great deal they're getting here at the Even Keel.
Seems like it's a World Cup free zone for
Yeah.
those of you who loathe
Another big
soccer.
0-0 thriller this morning.
All right, so I looked it up because I know you were going to start with this. That this
Another
scoreless
big 0-0
ties, the
thriller.
There have
nil.
been three of them in the last three
nil
games I
nil
watched.
draw. So you have the unlucky. There have been 11 games in this World Cup so far. 3 of them have been scoreless
And
ties.
I've watched those three.
Which, okay, that's not a great percentage. It's about 28% of the games so far have been scoreless draws. but it seems like you're 100% when you watch a game. It is 100%.
There'll be no chance of a score.
It's a 0.0.
It's okay. You know what? It's the same whether they score a couple of goals or not. It's still dreadfully boring. I think people would agree with that.
All right.
What I'll give them is this, okay? And you're ashamed to admit this because you want to be popular with the people. You got 93,000 followers here on Let's Eat South Florida. You don't want to offend anybody.
You think they're soccer
You don't
fans?
want to get into politics. You don't want to get into sports. But I would say this: the game is the game is a stupid game. But the guys that are playing it in the World Cup are very good at it.
Yeah, yes. It's
Okay,
the World
it's
Cup.
kind of like being a world champion pickleball player at this stage of life. Where I'm out playing tennis yesterday, and they were giving some pickleball lessons on one of the courts. They have a little pickleball court on the side there by the tennis center. And then they have like 30 courts, which are always packed at the rest of the park. And I'm watching this poor woman getting pickleball lessons. I'm saying, well, why don't you just take up soccer? Game's just as stupid. I mean, ball doesn't bounce. It doesn't do anything. And any game where you're hitting the ball, the object is to be like Jose Canseco and you hit the ball with your head. There's something wrong with that, inherently wrong with the game.
Pickleball, a very narrow, small area, so that people who
The
are
ball's dead,
advanced in age, like yourself and me.
But I'm
soon,
playing tennis. I'm
you
playing
don't
two
want-
sets
well,
of
good for
singles,
you.
Mr.
No,
Mayo.
you're in much better shape than I am at this point, which is no
Both
great
of us
shape.
actually is in better
But
shape
Middle
than
of
I
the
am.
day, schwitzing. I mean, it was great.
But the pickleball is for people who have a little bit less of a range, and you could go and get.
I don't think it's
the
meant to
ball.
be that, though.
Soccer pitch is like 200. It's like a half mile long and a
another
quarter mile
wasted
wide,
aspect.
and you got to run up and down all
Yeah.
day. Those guys, you might think it's a boring game, Defo.
It is.
But you cannot deny that these guys are in the best
I didn't
physical
say that.
shape, the best conditioned athletes in the world.
I
mean,
gave them
these
credit.
guys are chiseled. I mean,
I gave them credit
even
for being
Messi-
good at a stupid game.
it's a
They're
stupid
very
game.
good at a
Hey,
stupid game.
Speaking of stupid games played
Yeah.
by smart people, congratulations to my friend Eric E.
Nice.
Another part of my poker crew that had a big cash last night at the Hard Rock.
When are you going to have
So
your
it's really
day, Mike
everyone
Mayo?
buying.
When is it going to be Mayo
But
Day?
there's 5 people in this group that we go out to dinner all the time. All of them have had major cashes or wins. Eric in a pot limit Omaha tournament that was a $600 buy-in. It was a 4-way chop, and he got like 24 large, 24
dimes.
That's
That's a
a
score,
nice
man.
grand off
holiday
of a
score.
600.
I'm trying to sell my mother's antiques
investment.
just to raise 10.
So
Yeah.
we got to figure out we're going to have a little celebration.
I heard people
next week.
chanting, though, when I was at the Hard Rock last time, and you must have been there that night playing poker because they were singing, Mayo, Mayo, lost all my money and I want to go home. And they had you like slumped over a bowl of soup at
Exactly,
some
that's
place where it was like $30 a ladle for some wonton soup or
complaining
whatever.
about the $5 salsa when it was really the 2-hour.
And meanwhile, your buddies
when the
are
guy-
dancing out of there with like 25
Everybody's
dimes.
carting off just
Oh, so there he
boatloads
is.
of money.
By the
So
way, Tom T, everyone's wondering, you're open today, right?
He better
You
be.
can
I'm
chat.
coming up there.
I don't know. Like Defo and you've got to
He's
sort
there.
this out.
He's watching. So Tom
he
T,
is. Is he at the Nobo? Is
I
he
don't
on?
know.
I don't think he's actually in.
we're going to
business
talk directly
today.
to you. Are
Well,
you
that's
open
it.
today,
We've got
Tom
to
T?
do a one-on-one communication. I thought you guys were rendezvousing yesterday for your big Thanksgiving
I
sides
figured this.
pickup.
I would save him the trouble. I was thinking, wow, what I know he's nice enough to go out of his way, Tommy T, and deliver this stuff somewhere where it's more convenient for me. But the truth is, I don't really have that much to do today. So I'll blast right out of here, head up to Boynton Beach Boulevard, right? That's where it is, Boynton Beach
At 3?
Boulevard?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so it's going to take me 35 minutes,
Actually,
maybe.
Gateway Boulevard. You better
Oh,
plug it in
Gateway.
your phone.
All right,
He
Gateway.
doesn't know
Right
how to
off
do it on
Gateway.
the-
Once
First
I get off at
right into the
Gateway-
warehouse district. The signs are a little confusing.
Yeah, but I remember how to get there once I
Okay.
get to that part. So
You're finely tuned machine. Yes.
So I figured I would do him. The guy's busy, and obviously a lot of people probably pressing him for this great stuff that he serves Thanksgiving, and he's got tremendous specials going on the lasagna and all kinds of stuff. I'm getting a jambalaya also, and I figured if he's going to be there all day today, I'll go up there and make it easy for him.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
nice to make the
Right.
guy who's cooking and slaving away his life a little more convenient.
Well,
It's good.
right. I mean, I'm
And
glad he would have met me somewhere, but this is even better. It works out
It's
fine.
great.
Yeah.
And what else is great is here at Even Keel Fish Shack today, corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard. You go, there's plenty of the beach parking lots around here. Come on out because
Park between the lines, though.
yeah, between the lines. You've learned that
Which is
lesson.
such a weird
They
thing.
are
I still
very
never heard of that before.
hardcore.
Yeah.
The parking
You do
enforcement
anything
agents.
wrong, man.
if you hit the line, I didn't realize that's a $30. What,
$30
$35?
I had to spend.
And what is the actual ordinance that you're breaking that you're
Yeah,
not
I don't
allowed to take up more than one spot?
You know, you're being a slob, a
It's
greedy
called,
pig. Yeah,
we need revenue in Lauderdale by the
Exactly.
Sea.
I could see if the parking lot was packed enforcing
That's
that.
one thing, if it's
But if the
empty,
place is empty and
who
some
cares?
guy just happens to get higher in a
could
rush,
see
I
if-
came here in a rush. I parked. I could have straightened it out, but I didn't.
I could see if the broken pier was the city's responsibility,
Yeah.
they might need some more cash. But that's a private
By the
pier.
way, I mean, you sounded like after your friend won again, and you're the last guy to ever hit. You wanted to take a walk on that
No,
pier.
I do. Right now, it's looking very appealing to me to take that long walk off that
Literally
Off
a
a
short
broken
pier.
pier.
interrupted pier. Let's see
That's
what
Piers
happens.
interruptus, as they say in the
Yeah.
sexual game.
Piers Morgan. No. Anyway.
What are we having? Did you order some stuff here?
Yeah, what's
No,
going on
you know what? I'm
food-wise?
a
Waiting
little
for
bit
Brad?
remiss because I don't know. I'm just we were going to get a couple of things thrown out later in the show. Right now, I figured we'd be in the drinking. It's kind of like a Thanksgiving meal. When you first arrive, you don't say, "Where's the food?" You get a cocktail.
right away. I want to know
See,
what
I
happened
do.
to
My
this.
mom yells at me and my
Light
dad yells at me.
bites. And I gotta say, not only is this Bloody Mary delicious because it's actually served to me on a weekday, which unlike some other places,
You do
Houston's the
hold a
house of
grudge,
no.
man.
He's
I
great
mean,
at
wow.
But this one happens to be particularly good. The mix that they use here, which they obviously are able to even put the mix together during the week, which is very impressive.
You
can
are
taste
playing
it.
with a chip on your shoulder about Houston's. I mean, you really are.
It's
can't
like
wait
you
till
and
they're a
soccer.
If you
sponsor.
ever wanted to see
And
the
he has to
definition of
backpedal.
playing with a chip on his shoulder, this is it. Mike
I-
I
Mayo.
can't wait till Houston wants to get in on the Mike Mayo business, and he has to do a legendary back
What
pedal.
happens if they want to be the title sponsor of the show here at about 20
Everything's
grand a month?
negotiable. Never say never. I love House of Houston's, where they love to say, and
Now
it's
you're
not
a member,
saying
official member.
no.
There it is.
They're
Stamp
just-
of a
Fire
member.
radio.
They are discriminating, and they could, choose what they want to do and who they do it to.
Right.
Houston's, we love
If they
it.
ask Lubie and I to do some soccer games in Qatar, guess what? We love the sport, and it's a great country.
It's only
It's
because
good to be free like this.
if it was just me and my Bloody Mary, I would have kept it for myself. But
Oh
when
my
so many
God.
people on the group have had negative experiences,
Oh, no, it's overwhelmingly
particularly
so.
at the one in
Yeah.
Pompano. But guess what? We were basically asking Eric, "Where's the celebration next week?"
You know what's good about it,
they
though?
they used to love the Houstons in Aventura,
Okay.
but he just texted, "No, we're not going there. I got into a fight with the manager."
Oh,
So
so
even the
it's
Houston's
everybody.
Aventura is
Their new slogan, I got wind of it because that ad agency you were having a problem with the other account, they actually handle Houston, so as you would imagine, and it's called Arrogance with an Attitude. Because you not only get the arrogance, but then you get a lousy attitude on top of that because they look at you like you're from another planet when you come in there with 5 people.
it's the opposite of Outback, which is no rules, just right. It's
Yeah.
like all rules, you're never
Okay.
right.
The
You're always
customer's never
wrong.
right.
You're
All right,
always
what are we
wrong.
talking about in terms of food here today, Mike Mayo?
Well, I don't
mean,
know. I think we'll
not
get
just
some,
here, but I
crispy
mean in
Brussels
general.
sprouts. I don't know. I got to talk to Jason about getting the.
What's
couple of
going on
things
at the Mayo Thanksgiving table? That's unusual. I mean, we know you're the
Well-
ex Michelle really goes all out on this thing, and
She's like a
my
gourmet.
son Jesse happens to be an excellent cook, and
Well,
he's doing Thanksgiving.
we're
this
So
year.
his wife doesn't do it, he
excited.
does it. He does more of it?
Again,
Jesse, man,
because-
yeah, the Jess man.
Good for
The
him.
last few years,
I did
because
not
of COVID, we've kind of kept it to just me, my daughter, and Michelle. I think last year maybe 1 or 2, her boss came over. This year it's going full bore.
Yeah, free for
all
all. Let's
in.
go.
Yeah.
12 people. She's, of course, like in full martyr mode. Of
That's
like,
why I asked about the girlfriend
cooking.
yesterday. Yeah,
He's trying to cause trouble and wants me to bring
I am
Obviously.
over
stirring
a
up
date.
a very, very big bleep storm.
Okay,
I'm not
but-
going to
okay.
start
With the
doing
Mayo,
It's
that.
not about bringing over a
household.
date now. I'm just saying, like, let's say you date someone. You're in like, you're about to get engaged.
Oh, yeah. No, then everybody.
Yeah,
No,
I was saying
there's a
girl
good
you
chance
met yesterday.
my first wife, Jesse's mother, will be at the Thanksgiving gathering. She's been there many, many times. And the Mustang comes, and, there've been, Lubie knows,
I love
there's
this
been a
thing
string, since that marriage.
Can
and she's okay with all of it.
Now, I know me and you discussed this last year when we were strictly audio only format. Now that we're in full video mode,
Yeah.
can you describe to the people, I guess, some of the Thanksgiving disasters that have befallen
Oh, the blown
you?
Thanksgiving dinners.
My
Yeah.
favorite is the
I
one.
think you have like a top 10 list, but just give me like your top one. I
Oh,
think
the
some-
top one was clearly I was dating this girl, and we'd been going out for a while, and she had this thing going that we couldn't have sex until we'd been together for a month. All right.
Okay.
That's an interesting
So it
rule.
turned out that corresponding with me going out to Vegas on a giant freebie where I had free plane fare for 2 and a couple of
Oh,
rooms
wow.
and everything. So I invited her to go with me, and that would have corresponded with the month, time frame there. So what better way to break the ice there? So it turns out we get in a giant fight while we're in Las Vegas, and it's a couple of days before Thanksgiving. All right. So she was mad because I was This is a good one for you, the Gambling Gourmet. Put on your Gambling Gourmet hat. I'm on fire on the roulette table where you can't find a better place to be on fire. It's 35 to 1 every time you make a hit, and all of my stacks are hitting. I'm up a couple of dimes, and it's a turnaround for the trip. So I stay there and ride it out until, eventually, it's going to be short-lived and it's going to turn around in roulette. So you want to stop, right when it just starts to turn. And maximize your winnings, but minimize your losses.
Yes.
So I was there for a while, and she was waiting for me at a bar. And I was right around the corner, literally. And she got so upset that I continued to gamble and ignored her. Have you heard that one before? That she wasn't speaking to me anymore. She wanted to go home. She wanted to go on a flight. And then finally she decided, to make the long story short, that we should still have Thanksgiving together, even though we were never going to see each other again, because she had already invited her family over to my house for Thanksgiving.
Okay. All right. Boyfriend, exactly.
I wouldn't have cared. I would have been happy if he came. Would have taken her right out the door, and I would have been off the hook. So anyway, we decided to each make a turkey because there wasn't enough room in my oven for 2 turkeys. And mine comes out brilliantly. Hers comes out like crap. And so we get in a fight over that. And she finally picks up my good turkey, that I'm serving to my family and her uninvited guests, and hurls it in the canal, which was behind my house.
Was it a sliding door? She opens.
No, we were outside. I had a great little backyard area there.
Oh, balcony.
And we were sitting outside, and she takes the thing, hurls it in the canal, and the next thing you know, it was floating in the intercoastal, and it looked like one of the coconuts just floating by. And that was another, famous blown Thanksgiving dinner.
And she kept her own garbage.
I had a
turkey.
few times, right, where the turkey was not defrosted. That happened. And actually, the Mustang, my wife, also, her marriage broke up over a blown Thanksgiving dinner because she forgot to, defrost the turkey, and her husband got that was the last straw.
That's it.
Which, do I have a straw? I've been at this straw a few times
how many last straws
with the same woman. So
with this thing?
I have a better understanding of what happened here. But nonetheless, Thanksgiving has not always been a positive, even though I love the holiday.
Nevertheless, you persisted because it's still your favorite
Oh,
holiday.
yeah.
Right?
I love it. I absolutely love Thanksgiving.
And I
I'm
love
so
it
excited
too.
about today and tomorrow.
Michelle and I, we've had our share of disagreements and ups and downs, but one thing we always agree on is that she's a great cook. I get out of her way. I'm responsible for providing the turkey and the wine.
You critique the food.
I don't critique the food. She's
Your
great.
natural tendency is to award
But
stars.
from what he says, she's great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in
No,
there
the
and say,
stuff looks
the
awesome,
turkey's
yeah.
a little salty.
Yeah, it's a little
this year.
dry
I'm never
today.
gonna say that.
I know you worked for 24 hours.
Sometimes the brine, she goes a little crazy with the brine, and she makes some sort of concoction with
there
an
are
apple.
some criticisms.
No, but it's always good.
Obviously.
The turkey always comes out juicy.
Do you ever find yourself
and
going,
moist.
water, just to mess with her?
No, I
Water
don't do
after
that.
the first bite of the
Because
turkey.
remember, I could get thrown at any time. I'm
Yes.
on pins
Oh,
and
yeah,
needles.
Yeah, you're on thin ice to begin with.
No, I'm always on my best behavior, but the good part is the food always comes out terrific. And tomorrow it's our usual. We got 12 people coming. It's going to be a big crowd. I had to order the auxiliary table, the folding table, from Amazon because we have such a big crowd.
You couldn't borrow a card table from one of the neighbors?
And I guess she.
Mr. Poker, you don't have a card table?
I had one. I think I sold it to one of my friends who was playing poker.
When you were losing?
I might have hawked it.
Sold him the table.
But
Isn't that great?
and I had to bring. I started schlepping over chairs because she needs an additional 5 chairs. So I brought 2 this morning from my house, and then but the turkey's been brining. Now it's in the drying phase.
Watch those mother-daughter teams,
brine
by
it,
the way.
brine it for a day, and overnight, and then you pat it down with the tile. You got to really dry it out so that skin gets nice and dry and it comes out crispy in the oven. That's the key. And she's got all the sides already starting. With
Every picture you've taken
potatoes
from
gone.
your ex-wife's house has been sensational
Yeah, no,
when it comes to food.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So that is one of the many things that I'm grateful for. This,
You're
this
still,
and
you're
every
still speaking. That's a good thing. Yeah.
She still feeds me.
Co-parenting. That's
With
very
co-parenting.
noble.
Well, yeah, they do.
And my daughter's terrific. She's working today. She's scooping at a renowned ice cream parlor, and I have to actually drop by there. And she's gonna. I got to get the
you got
for
the
the a
cinnamon
la
ice cream,
mode
yeah.
for the pies and desserts. Going to get the cinnamon ice cream later today. So, got ticking off my
I
list.
love the fact that she doesn't want you to spend 1 extra second there.
And she's like, get
It's
the hell
kind of
out
like when my parents dropped me off at college. They drove me up to Syracuse, and I told them, "Look, as soon as the last bag gets on the curb here,
here. Get out.
See you later, mom and dad, right? Because you
That's
just
it.
didn't
I
want
don't
to,
wanna-
be
yeah,
like
it's
some
cringy.
mama's boy.
Being around is cringy.
Yeah, yeah.
I see
Oh,
a
my
stalker
God.
is coming.
Oh, my
So
God.
he lives out by here because
Jim
he
Sarney.
does certain remotes that he comes out
Jim
to.
Sarney, he's
The
got I think he's got a
unofficial
turkey in the bag.
Producer and mascot.
Yeah.
So he's an out east person.
Big
is what
soccer
Sarney-
advocate. He was at Nikita's this morning.
Huge
in
soccer
Davie.
advocate. I think he wanted me to demonstrate how to carve a turkey on
I think
the
he's got a
air,
soccer ball in
but
that bag.
I don't know. It might even be a
Oh,
chicken.
thank you, sir.
Oh, there's
Great
Mike, the
service here,
bartender.
by the
Thank
way.
you.
Great.
That's great.
He
Yeah.
anticipated my order. That was the beautiful
Very
thing.
beautiful. Thank
Yeah,
you,
they
Mike.
do great job here.
We
Even
got
Keel
Sarni
Fishing.
in the house. Look at
Oh,
this. He's bringing Moscato.
Prosecco.
which,
no, this is Prosecco.
Well, it's a Prosecco.
Prosecco
Yeah,
for champagne.
Prosecco. That's
This is
a
the
nice deal.
Italian champagne.
I'm going to leave that, but I don't know. That's,
I have to compare
this is
notes
one
with
of these-
Sarni
this-
on
we promote
La
someone else's things
Capricciosa,
here, I
which is
guess.
across the street there, which and you always say this, and you're absolutely right, because I don't want to judge the place by the fact we had a big party there. We had like 12 people, and the service really broke down. Very nice server, very accommodating, somebody that the rest, 4 or 5 of the people go there, or 3 of the couples go there a lot, and so they knew her, but everything broke down because of the big party, and it gives you an unfavorable impression about a place, which is unfortunate,
Yeah.
because I think the food and the value was very good, but Sarni loves the joint. And
Are we naming it, or are we?
Well,
La
he said
Capricciosa, I
Capricciosa.
think
He
it's
said it, the
called,
one that's around
right
the corner.
behind the Burger Fi here
Oh,
on
okay.
A1A.
Were they slammed?
La
What's the
Capricciosa. Yeah,
Well,
the
I
Italian
mean,
place.
they unfortunately they had a team working, but
Well,
they really only had one person serving all of the tables.
Well, I'm
as the
not going
lead-
to say
lead
it's your
server.
fault.
Oh, it
because-
wasn't my fault. I'm giving them a pass on this.
Yeah, but
Under the Mayo
you
theory.
happen to like to go out with
The
these
Mayo
traveling circuses of Marty the Party.
That's just
and
the way it goes.
and-
Yeah, and Marty the
you know,
Party is the orchestrator.
The Volkswagen pulls up, and all the
It's like
people
a
start
circus.
tumbling out. You know
Now,
me.
the new thing is our buddy Southern B, he inherited a little bit of capital, and now he's got a custom golf cart for like 20 people.
Oh God!
And they go
You
parading.
know what? These
They go
party
parading
carts,
down A1A, man.
these things, these golf carts that have now been
Customized,
reconfigured,
I mean, music,
customized for the
unbelievable.
road.
Sounds better than the Funky Biscuit.
All right, this
you know,
is
we're
when
saying a lot.
this is the Grateful Day. It is not Festivus of my airing of the
bitch,
grievances,
exactly.
but these
I'm not a fan.
these
I'm not a
tricked
fan.
out, customized carts that are now sharing the road with
Yeah.
me that aren't
They're
They're
properly
95.
equipped.
Yeah.
They don't have proper headlights. I almost plowed into one
On
the
the
other
turnpike.
day.
Oh, no.
They're all over Delray Beach, up and down. And I
What's the
just
deal
think,
with that? Just get a car.
so, if we were on another program with Levitar, douche or no douche,
Yeah,
anybody who's
exactly.
driving those
Yeah,
things,
that's a
Oh,
douche.
Major League.
I
Major
don't
douche,
like
yeah.
them.
And I love Southern Brian.
Southern
So-
Brian's a character, man. He's a
What are we
real
doing?
But
adventurous guy, but
and
That's
I
a
know
lot.
people like to
That's
go
a
out
lot.
in big parties, and restaurants should be equipped to handle it. Certain places, but certain places do it better than others. And little mom and pop shops.
here's one
sometimes that
for you,
short
though.
staff-
This is on
Okay, but
the
don't you
no
lower your
more than
expectations?
four,
You lower
or
your expectations.
no more than 4 if
Let me
you're
run one by you,
Houston's.
though, okay?
5 or
Where a
6
person
max.
takes the order, and
Yes.
I've been in this situation where, they're telling you early in the evening to push the special, right?
Yeah,
And then
obviously.
so you get an order of all people order the special, and
Now
you're,
it's out.
I think that's boring. as
you're
heck.
a little while into the service. Maybe the special is great. All
Yeah,
right,
but you
so
could split with
so
people.
anyway,
I'm a splitter.
the people
I'm a
order it,
splitter.
and then you go to the kitchen and you say, okay, 4 specials, and the guy goes, what? We only got 2 left.
Right.
Okay,
They 86 them.
now we ordered a bunch of stuff, and everybody, I guess the majority were going to try this meat lasagna. There were like 6 orders out of 12 for meat lasagna.
Okay.
Okay.
Even
All
though
right.
the
Those are
place is
regular
famous for
lasagna?
its pizza, right?
No,
They have
no,
good pizza.
they have all kinds of food. Very
Okay.
good. Everything was
Not
really,
that I'm
really.
saying you're ordering wrong or you're going.
I was
No,
not
you know
ordering
lasagna at a
wrong.
pizza
It was
place. That's not
a
a
very
bad move.
modest order, and
It's Italian.
I don't think you could really order
No, I
wrong there because the food's good. I'm
Now I
not
like-
knocking the food.
Okay, good.
No, you're over
He's
the
trying
top
to get
here with
you,
your
yeah.
questions, but the point was the
getting a little
server took
defensive.
the order
I love it.
and then had
Yes.
to come out after about 40 minutes later
Oh,
and
so that's
say
annoying.
we only have 2 meat lasagna
Right.
orders.
But
They
don't you
couldn't
come
figure
right
that out
out? Don't you come
earlier.
right out?
No, this was
See,
a
that's
while
annoying.
later. Yeah, I
They
mean
didn't
we were
figure
there
it
for
out
hours, man.
until they were trying to figure out how they could chop up what remained.
Hey, what's the number of
Into
times you
7
have to go to the meter before you realize the service is coming out kind of poorly, right? I had to re-up twice in the parking meter and then move my car eventually because I had to park across the street because the place was packed. And this Mickey's Downtowner, which is right next door, looks kind of interesting. I mean,
Okay.
it's one of those sort of oddball crowds that
It
you
used
don't
to be
always
Beef
see.
and Reef, and now it's
It was a
Mickey's
beef
Beef
and
and
reef,
Reef.
but it was a
Beef and
very
Reef.
long term, and I forget the name of the place, and it was fairly popular and successful. Obviously, not overwhelmingly so because they went out of business, but
Obviously.
they might have sold out at a premium. But for a long time, it was a classic like destination here, Lauderdale by the Sea, and I think it was an Italian place. And then the Beef and Reef was short-lived. That guy sold out. This place had a very interesting sort of piano bar type of crowd in there.
Okay.
And they had a guy at the piano bar that looked like an old friend of mine who can't sing a lick. But the crowd was good, and it looked like it was being, at least fairly successful for a place that I don't know much about, but there has been any number of places, and it looks like a fairly
Downtowner.
expensive enterprise. I mean, it doesn't look like a cheap operation. This isn't some small place
Well,
that
this area is
I mean,
nice.
they have a
it's
big
not cheap to
investment
be
there.
out here.
You're meandering like a soccer pitch.
No,
like
no,
a midfielder in a soccer
I don't know if
pitch.
you know anything about this place or have heard anything about it, but
Not much. No,
it
I
looked
mean,
kind
I
of
know
interesting.
it's gotten in there new. I know a lot of places up and down this block are popular. You used to go Vinny's.
Well, this area is great. Ruby's is
and,
right over there.
Yeah, Vinny's always very
I'm just
popular.
hearing that a new place called Herat's, which bills itself as an Irish pub, but it's more of a kind of gastro pub. And they opened one down in Hollywood on Young Circle that has, I guess it's kind of a national chain, but they opened one down the block here. And it's good because these guys here, Brad and Dave and Jason, the general manager, they're the same opinion as me. Is like the more the merrier.
why
They
not?
don't see it as competition siphoning a business from them. They see it as more things to attract greater people to this block and area, and that everybody comes down here on a Friday or
Yeah, you
Saturday
want
night.
busy, more people.
One
more...
place is busy, they spill over to another
Yeah.
place where they could get seated right away, and it becomes a
And
good.
try different places.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing. You don't eat the same food every day.
They do different things very, very well all around here. I mean, it really is a good area for
and it's a
restaurants.
You guys had
microcosm
Yeah.
of
2 drinks.
Greater Fort Lauderdale, which is
3
the
night girls curious about your drinking. He's on number 2.
Greater Fort Lauderdale.
I'm monitoring. He has to drive a car, so we're
friends at
safe
Visit
drivers.
Lauderdale.
Yes, we
it
love
is-
Visit Lauderdale.
It's time to talk about how Lauderdale by the Sea is really a microcosm
Yes,
of
it
the
is.
whole Greater
It is.
Fort Lauderdale, Visit
Here's to the
Lauderdale
Green-Eyed Girl.
area.
Green-Eyed
because
Girl.
Well, Visit
it
Lauderdale.
is-
Big fan.
Actually, Visit Lauderdale encompasses what we do here.
This
and what
is
we
it,
do on the show.
where they invite everybody under the sun to come and check out all the glorious offerings, not only in this town, Lauderdale by the Sea, which is really happening, but everywhere
Yes.
around the county. Because if you're a food connoisseur, if you're into the craft beers, the cocktails, all of it is in Greater Fort Lauderdale. They invite you to come check out our scene, more than 4,000 area restaurants, and you'll be blown away by the diversity. Everything from great waterfront dining along the Intracoastal, like here, you got Blue Moon Fish Company, Kaloo's on the other side. You go down, there's Shooters. And then, of course, along the ocean in Fort Lauderdale Beach, places like Dune and
What's the ocean place that you guys love?
3S.
You got the Beachcomber there right on the ocean, but
All kinds of
not
stuff.
my favorite. Not giving it 4. I would only give it 2.5.
So we are
2.5.
just so
Mayo.
blessed to be all the great food offerings,
Yes.
everyone under the sun. To check it out, go to visitlauderdale.com and see all the latest in events, offerings, happenings. Don't forget the boat parade is coming up in early December.
Yes.
So you want to
That's
book
the time.
early for some of those great waterfront locations along the Intracoastal to get in and check out all the wonderful holiday decorations on the boats. Boat parade coming up early December. Visit Lauderdale.com for all the details.
Now, we're going to invite Jim Sarney up if Brad doesn't make it here before the show's over to dissect those 0-0 ties, because it would be like having Alexei Lalas on the set with us in terms of soccer expertise. Beautiful day, man. I hope everybody's having a happy holiday. We're coming
I'm gonna
back with
keep
more.
drinking right
This
now.
Mike
Mike
Mayo's
Let's take a
Lunchbox.
let's take a let's
Get
take a
Sarney up
sip.
here to talk a little soccer.
All right, we'll be back
we'll
after
be back.
this on the Lunchbox.
Like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. And there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent. Here on a pre-Thanksgiving festivities at Even Keel Fish Shack.
What a good
Lauderdale
time,
by the
Mike
Sea.
Mayo. What a good time.
What
man.
a time.
We kid because we love each
Obviously.
other. I am grateful for the Lunchbox video stream. I'm grateful for Mike Lubie Lubitz
Thank
because
you,
he
sir.
schleps this
Fakakta
mixing board,
equipment.
whatever the production stuff all
It's
over
not
the
high-end
place.
production right now, but it's going to improve. I
It's better
promise
than
you.
where it started. You weren't where it
It's-
started.
it
This
serves
moved.
its
We've
purpose.
These are
grown.
words of caution, but I
We've
have it on
grown.
good order from my tennis match yesterday that put this, I guess, in the, quotes.
Yeah.
We're going public.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
I don't know what any of that
Are we
means.
doing
Yeah.
IPOs? We're
Means a
doing
lot
shares?
of Fugazi
Yeah, I know what
stuff
any of
is
that
going
means.
on, but no, it could result in something good.
We'll see.
Oh well, okay. Because
That's
I
2023. We're getting
seem
ahead
to
of ourselves.
hear a lot of people say they
We'll
love
see.
me, but I don't.
Everybody loves you.
I need to. Love doesn't
We'll
pay
see.
the
You are
bills.
not
It does
conditioned to let yourself feel the love, which is the plight of a lot of us
It's
who are
true.
Jewish. We
I have
want to
become-
block it. We want to fend it off at all times, and you have to allow yourself to love yourself,
This-
and that's the key.
This brings
There
me
you go.
to
Allow
again
yourself
this
to love
movie I've been
yourself.
touting for everybody
The
who
Menu.
loves food or in the food business,
Oh
restaurants.
yeah,
The Menu.
I would like to
It's
see
about
that.
a chef who kind of takes a turn to the dark side, but he's become utterly desensitized. Again, it's kind of metaphors that when you work in a kitchen and
Yeah.
you burn yourself so many times, he says his hands are like asbestos. And Ray Fiennes,
No,
who plays this
people
chef,
become a sugar nut. They do.
and like he just reaches into the flame without even
Yeah.
feeling anything. And I guess somehow that maybe I've gone astray along the way, and I don't allow myself to really fully feel
The
anymore.
key words in life are let go.
Let go.
A guy said that to me when I was like 16. I was talking about something fetching, and this guy was a real hippy dippy, one of these cerebral types. Could have been like,
Took the brown acid.
yeah, I mean, it could have been, in the Kung Fu show, David Carradine. And he just looked at me and didn't, he never said much anyway. And he just looked at me and he said, let go.
Yep.
And it
That's
stuck
it.
with
So
me my
poof.
whole life. Yeah.
And, and I was going to go back and rag on you for something. Again, my preference is when I go out to
I
eat.
love when you hit me up with this stuff because it's so ridiculous
No.
that it's comical.
Finish my thought. I prefer going out in smaller groups. Actually, the groups of 1 or 2 are my favorite because then it's like you don't have to worry about anybody else's drinking.
But you're invited
and you
to a
get
place.
resentments
I mean,
about what they,
But,
oh,
okay.
now they ordered the expensive cocktail and now I got to
Exactly.
subsidize them.
that was a
Okay,
consideration.
in this era where splitting a check is not hard, why do people still do? Like my wife's big
It's
on
a
not
pain in
splitting
the
a
butt
check.
for a lot of
it
restaurants
though?
only maximize, like if you're a group of like 12, they don't want to split up more than, let's say, 3 or 4 ways. 4 ways, I think that's a reasonable maximum. It's one of the questions we get on the
I
group.
immediately told the server we're not with these people before we even sat down.
It depends on
Even though we're at their table.
and it depends on the place. Like if you're at a chain restaurant that has a computerized
system,
POS system that could break it down individually. Some of them are very more amenable to doing individual separate checks because they're dealing with it. That's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
But when you go to a small mom and pop place and there's only 1 or 2 people working the floor, they don't want to be divvying up checks all night. They want
Well, here's where it gets a little oddball,
that
though.
protocol.
Okay,
I want to
like,
know protocol.
like in my case, I don't drink red wine, as you know. I know you're, sort of upset about that, but and my
everything
friends,
you do upsets
my
me.
friends
Let's just
were
put it
ordering,
on the table.
fairly pricey bottles of red wine, and it was like, oh, it's going to be a big wine night, and I'm thinking, I'm getting none of this. So what can I order to counter
Here's what
so
you
that when
do.
I pay my share of the check, I don't feel
evens.
ripped off?
Here's what you do.
So I immediately got Mustang, a chain of Chardonnays that extended from here to that bottle of champagne at the edge of the
And then it
table.
becomes a battle of
Right, of
vindictiveness.
attrition. It's a war of
Money's worth,
attrition.
exactly.
Well, attrition and
Yeah.
vindictiveness and
Resentful.
one-upmanship.
It's
and
like an auction, like you're in Ocala bidding on a horse. That was,
and this is
there
not
was
an
gonna be a
enjoyable way
champion.
to go out to eat. This is
No, it's
but
not.
again,
I don't like it.
you like going with these big.
I
grand and
go
glorious
with
parties.
them. I mean, I look, everybody has their own little idiosyncrasies about it. Like, do you want to be included on a fat check when you didn't have that much of the action, where you split an entree and
Well,
had
I'd
one
like to
drink, and everybody else was gorging themselves with
Yeah, so
wine as if
what's-
they were at the Last Supper? Okay, I mean, maybe you don't want to pay that. I would usually take it under the consideration that these are my friends, and I don't mind buying them a few drinks.
The only time I like going out in big groups is when one of my poker buddies has just had
They've
a big
won.
score and they
He's
invited
paying.
us all out, and it's one check and he's paying for
He's
it.
paying. You're never going to
Tip
look at the check.
included,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then it's
Fight,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
It's weird too. People have a big variant on how much they tip, because they had one of those individual things that you slide your card into, and they come around to the table. So now we're 6 checks.
oh, God.
No, we divided it 6 ways.
Right.
So it was 6 different credit cards
20%
applied.
Well,
And here's a weird
Steve's a
thing
big
too, because
tipper, that's the
I
thing.
usually tip more than that,
Devo's a big tipper.
and they don't have that option in some restaurants, where some of those things it only goes up to 25%.
That's
Oh,
not. I've
25.
never heard of that. You could always do
I've had a couple of these come my way where they didn't have the option to tip
Usually,
more.
there's an option of like create
Other,
your own
yeah.
other, and
Yeah, I
then you
haven't
could
seen
go
that.
Kind of
higher.
like at the ATM machine at the
What-
track.
the other thing- or the all button.
whatever it is that I could get.
I like the all button, and then no, but I'm surprised because usually most places now, even for smaller
Yeah.
groups like 6 and above, is an automatic gratuity where they're automatically
when it's that
charging you
big
the
a group.
20% or the
Yeah.
18%. You're saying this place didn't even tack that on, or did they do a double tip
You
and
had
pull
no
a
idea.
fast one on
No,
you?
I don't think they. Actually, it came out to be reasonable considering everything. But and I want to say, I think the food was potentially really, really good, and it was popular. It was packed, which is another thing.
That's
so,
good.
I think all the signs were good there.
So-
La Capricioso.
Right, no, it's right
Yeah,
down the block.
yeah.
I've heard nothing but great
Good-
things,
good
especially
Italian
about their
restaurant, yeah.
pizza. I want to get in there and try their pizza one night.
I
Even
did.
Jim
I
Sarni.
did have some of their pizza, because that was
Sarni's
another
been
thing. You
there.
get cumulative orders of appetizers.
Yeah.
And so we'll order a bunch of appetizers, which I don't mind being a part of that either. And the pizza was
usually miss
really,
out,
really
though.
good. It was solid.
So,
It was
Getting,
solid.
Okay,
back
let
to
me
the-
ask you,
go
okay,
ahead.
protocol on that, because I don't want to be used terms of stereotyping, but what we talked about before we got back on, I will monitor. I'm like, okay, Shirley and I aren't drinkers. We'll have a glass of wine. They all had 6 drinks each.
Yeah.
Why at the end is it split it even?
No, you know what you
What
do?
is the protocol
The
there?
protocol is you get up, say you're going to the bathroom, and just run for the
No.
hills and get out, dine and dash.
I'm
Run
not
to your
that
car.
bad.
Yeah, exactly.
These are
Yeah.
friends. I have to see
No,
them again.
make them ex-friends because they're not good friends if they're like going to be drinking
But
you
that's
out
what
of
I'm
house
saying,
and
like-
new home. So
What is protocol if they
the
don't want to
protocol
split the
is-
check? What, like everyone's even, but you had 6
the
drinks and I had a
protocol
half of one.
is when I go out with a big group, And it's just implied, like if somebody's having a cocktail, everybody has a cocktail.
Okay.
If somebody is not a drinker and they're a teetotaler,
No one goes ham.
then
No one
you know
goes
what?
ham.
Usually it is pretty
if
even.
you're going to
Steven,
start
though.
being like nickel and diming
No,
and
you
saying,
can't.
"Oh, I've got to be $12 less because I didn't have the open hand,"
No,
then
you
don't
can't
go
do
out
it.
to eat with the big group.
Can't do it.
It's just some things you got to accept. Like when I go out and go,
It's a party. Everybody's kicking in. That's all.
you just have to bite the bullet sometimes, and this is why I also limit my big crowd. Now, it's interesting because of the automatic gratuity. You usually see it when it's parties of 5 or 6 or more.
Yep.
Some places along tourist areas
pop
do
it on the check to begin with.
for
Yes.
any groups. And it happened to us for my daughter's birthday.
That might have been the case, but I didn't.
It
Yeah,
probably
and that's
did.
what I'm saying.
It probably
You guys
did.
are so loaded.
I don't think so,
They
though.
do the double tipping
No,
and they don't even
I
notice. A
think
lot of places do that because they
price
have
was
the
reasonable.
extra. Okay. All right, that's
Overall,
good.
it was reasonable,
No.
so it couldn't have been tacked on.
But the Bay Korean barbecue place at
Hard
Hard Rock, even though it was only 3 of us for my daughter's birthday,
They whacked you?
they have an automatic
I hate
gratuity.
that.
Their policy is they add, and some places are 18%, so then I could add on a little more for
That'll
the
add
tip.
on.
This was 20%. And we're cooking our own food. At the end of the night,
Well,
it was
then,
like
you should've
you
tipped
got your
yourself.
20%, and
Yeah.
usually I throw a couple, like even it's $5 or $10 more. This one is like a 0.0.
I don't want to go to a
And
restaurant.
because-
They hand me a hibachi and a raw steak.
Right, and it
I mean,
was
come on.
And look, lo and behold, we're
That's
supposed to
good.
be grateful
Oh,
today.
yeah. Well, you know
this
you
is
aren't
turned
going to be.
into Festivus. We're doing nothing but
That's every
grievances
day.
today.
Yeah, we're having a good time. Man.
I
This is
know,
me
but this
grateful.
is not the direction. I wanted to be positive today.
Oh, stop with your
And you dragged me down. Oh, now I'm positive.
I'm
Here
grateful
we
for
go.
this.
Look at you,
We've
man.
got
Look at
some-
you.
I
What's
think
this
this is
now?
the
Wahoo
Wahoo
poke
Pokey.
in the house.
Oh, wow.
We've got
Nice.
some food is hitting the decks
There
here
you go.
at Even Keel Fish.
I love the way
Shack.
they do the
Grateful.
trays
All
with
right,
the ice
so
and
here's what
everything.
I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm going to put in the good word for our friends Phil and Kate at the Visit Lauderdale
Yes, I
Food and
was
Wine
hoping
Festival.
you
It's
would go
coming
there.
up after the holidays, January 9th
Woo! Cannot
through
wait.
the
Thank you.
15th. All over Greater Fort Lauderdale, there's going to be intimate dinners around town earlier in the week. Then there's going to be 3 big events that we're going to be part of. And you should go check it out right now, vlfoodwine.com. That's VL, like Visit Lauderdale, foodwine.com. Check out the full schedule. You can buy your tickets. Even better yet, when you buy tickets to the cocktail competition on Wednesday night, the January 11th, the barbecue battle at the Hyatt Centric Hotel downtown Fort Lauderdale on Friday the 13th that night, or the grand tasting down at Los Olas Beachfront Park there, A1A and Los Olas Boulevard. You go get tickets for those 3 events, punch in the promo code Lunchbox. That's as in Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
That's Mayo.
You get an extra 15% off the already low ticket prices.
That's amazing.
Makes a great stocking stuffer for the food lover in your family. Brad and Dave, these guys are going to take part, I think, in one
Oh,
of the
yeah, they're
intimate
in there.
dinners.
Nice.
They are teaming up with one of their old colleagues, Paula De Silva, who now heads up the culinary food and beverage program at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel on
Oh,
the
wow.
beach. I think they're doing a intimate dinner down at the Ritz-Carlton. And Dave and Brad are also going to be taking part in other events. We love Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival, vlfoodwine.com. Go get your tickets right now.
All right, going to be a lot of fun. We'll finish things off. Some food has arrived here at Even Keel Fish Shack, so that means we're going to be indulging,
down.
which I think Lubie
Smells
says
good.
this, and it's true. The most popular part of the show is when you start eating.
Yes.
It really is by
really
far,
is.
and I
I
wouldn't have
don't
thought that. You know, sometimes you're wrong about this business, even though you've been in it a long period of time.
Yeah.
What I would think would be the most repulsive part of the show is actually its most popular
Turn a
feature.
negative into a positive.
Mike Mayo
They
eats.
love it.
And that's what we're going to
In a
do after
moment.
the break. We're going to start. Put on your thinking caps, gentlemen. Come up. I want lists of things food-wise that you're grateful for the year 2022 in South Florida.
Spaghetti.
Skyline Chili. We'll be back after these words on the Lunchbox.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Oh, you caught me by surprise there, Lubie. We're back at
The
Even
music's
Keel.
going.
They hit us with food. Got some good
It's the
little
best part of the show.
different
It
things
really
here. We
is.
got the octopus.
You're trying to show it.
The octopus, a beautiful setup there. All kinds of beautiful, lovely sauces
I
and
got a
Yeah,
Brussels sprout
crunchy
here.
things.
There's
People's
real
already
Brussels
eating. I
sprout.
love
favorite for Defo is
The
the crispy
transformation-
Brussels sprouts, and then we've got
Default's been
the
amazing.
Wahoo poke with
Great.
the
That is
edamame,
really good.
really kind of Asian style here with their fresh
those
pita
wontons?
chips.
Is that pita? What are those?
Pita chips, I
Okay.
guess you call
Sounds
them.
like a
They all look
wonton.
great.
Kind of like a tortilla, dusted
Okay.
with sea salt.
All right, well, wait for
Everything
your review
here
here, Mike Mayo. You
is,
got to get
beautiful.
involved.
And I wanted to get us back on a positive track because
Okay.
we are grateful for so many things, like our friends Brad and Dave here at
Mhm.
Even Keel Fish Shack, and all our other fine sponsors. And as I dive into the, I'm going to do a little. The Wahoo poke. Wahoo,
Yeah,
they
that's
get
nice.
this fresh fish right off the
Wahoo's
coast
a great
here.
fish, by the way. If
I'm
you're
going to
out in
kind of
South
shovel
Florida,
it onto
Right off the pier.
a pita crisp here, and it
look
could
at
get
you.
a little
even
sloppy.
the professor's a huge
got
fan of
the-
Wahoo.
All right, here we go. Mike Mayo.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
the
yeah,
nice
good
chunks. You see that?
First
you're
bite
not
of the
gonna
day,
see
Mike
there, but
Mayo.
Gotta get the good crunch.
nice chunks of Wahoo,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Not a good
They're
fresh
not,
fish.
that's one thing, they're not chintz. When they do things like that, they give you a nice amount of seafood.
All right, now my mouth is full. So
Ah.
I'm going to start you off, Lubie.
Okay.
What are you grateful for, food-wise,
Food-wise?
restaurant-wise?
Oh, restaurant.
And not to be corny, I'm grateful for this show because, again, like we've talked about a lot recently, I'm born and raised in South Florida, but my food tastes are sort of remedial, amateurish, and I like new things. Shirley and I like trying different things, but between our schedules, between our lives, we don't get out as much as we'd like to. So being on the show has really opened my eyes to a lot of different places, a lot of different businesses, a lot of different types of food that I didn't even realize. Look, Arun's become our favorite place.
Arun's
It's 5
Indian
minutes from
Kitchen,
my
which I told
house.
you about, right? In Coral
Yes, you
Springs.
5 minutes from my house that we'd never gone to. Her parents and I, and we go once every week or once every other week. And I wouldn't have known that if not for this show. So I'm really grateful for this show and what you and what we're doing and just opening people's eyes to
Well, it's
really how
fun.
great South
It's
Florida
nice when you can
food-wise.
blend both what you're passionate about and have fun doing, and
Yeah.
and to be able to go out and spotlight some of the favorite places, some of the ones that aren't the big chains
Off the
or
beaten
don't
path,
have
as they say.
deep pockets, and they don't have the the fancy PR firms. They're not in a big hotel, but you just want to go push
Good
and,
food.
and promote and help people that are doing a good job
Yep.
and with good food, because that's what I'm all about, right,
Yep.
Defo?
No doubt, yeah.
It's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad you found Arun's Indian
Yes,
Kitchen.
Arun. I'm grateful for Arun's. We love Arun's.
I know
Arun's Indian Kitchen.
Defo's not the biggest Indian. You
No,
don't like Indian,
I'll try it.
Okay.
Like
You'd
I
like
said,
it if you had it,
Deck and Spice, our friend.
right? We gotta
owns
get
a
up
place,
there.
We call him Shaker, and I've been there a couple of times and
Try
ordered
some sausage.
takeout from there, and I think it's all good. I'm not as familiar with the menu as I probably should be, so my ordering is very primitive, but I get the basic stuff
All
like
right,
a
so
lot of
what are
people do.
What are you grateful for?
Oh, I
food-wise?
mean,
Is there
absolutely.
any
I mean,
new
I've said it
food
a
finds this year?
zillion times. I mean, the diversity here
Yep.
and the tremendous variety. And then the other thing that was enhanced by doing the show over the last year is it just fortifies your belief in the passion that the people have for the
Yeah.
job they do.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that. We've always been passionate about what we do in broadcasts. And if you don't love what you're doing, it's not going to be successful or it's not going to be worth doing. And when you talk to the different people, as you interview the owners of these different restaurants, and we get to know and get a little better feel for how they got started and what their philosophical involvement is in the whole place and what their approach is, it's really remarkable. I mean, people talk about New York and they talk about San Francisco and they talk about Los Angeles. The dining scene here in South Florida is as good, I think, as any place I've ever been in the world.
You just got to know where to go, and there's a lot of hidden
but
gems in
there's
these.
so many places.
in these
So
You have
many
to be
strip
places.
open.
malls
You have to be open
Yeah.
to trying different things.
And some of the things I put on the list this morning on the Let's Eat South Florida group. And believe it or not, I am thankful for the group because
You should
it's,
be, man.
it's a lot
I mean,
of it's great.
it turned out to be a media career, a stroke of genius for you.
It's a lot of fun, even though it can sometimes be like
pain in the
herding
rear.
cats or a group of first graders when they start getting into little scraps. But I love the fact that through the group, I've met a lot of great people that you actually go out and meet in the flesh. And one of them is right here now at sitting at the bar, Dan Cook, who longtime group member. A guy who has definite opinions about food. And we finally got together last week at a place called CJ Black's, which I like.
I want to
And
keep
the
trying that
ownership
place.
is similar. I guess they share some ownership bonds with Lefties that has a place up in Coral Springs. They have great burgers there, great bourbon bar. They also have a sushi bar. Another group member, Jennifer White Sawitsky, is a bartender there. So got to meet her and drink some good bourbon, have a nice old fashioned, and had a great burger, and get to chat and actually, sit down. Where it's the inverse, where you meet friends on social media and they actually become friends in real life.
Yeah,
like
I
a
love
Tom Tannenzini, a Joe Cassell, a Dickstein met me through the group, and now that's led to some fruitful things. We're gonna conquer the world with
you
the
guys
best
are
of
gonna,
Delray
did you use the
Beach
words
Festival.
we're going public yet?
We're
We'll
trying
see
to
what the public. We'll see what the public.
Because
We'll
that's
say that
usually
off
when the
the air.
horror begins.
the
We'll say that
different
off the air.
phases. But Dickstein, it's been so much fun to go out and eat with him and do all these consecutive meals and eat like 20 burgers and pizzas in Delray Beach, the
He
Bang
knows his
Bangs
stuff.
and the
He
Bang
does.
Bang Bangs. So that's what I'm grateful for is, food still is no matter what the differences are in the world, and there's been so much, obviously, strife, and we've gone through the pandemic, and there's political differences, but food is still a way that we could get down. We could, come together, build bridges, and not walls, and then we just enjoy ourselves and find commonality. So that's my kumbaya moment for the day,
Yes, sir.
Defo.
You're a little judgmental on the food, but other than that, you're a good guy. Mike Mayo.
And specifically, like things that pop to mind of things that I ate this year. I mean, to go to Seaside Subs and get that chicken parm with
that
the
was good.
vodka
Yeah,
sauce
that
was
was
good.
good.
To get to go to Tom's Louisiana Kitchen and get those grilled oysters and his red beans and rice and everything he has there is good. To get to go to the pizza spot and have, some of those great pies, whether it's pepperoni or my bacon and hot cherry pepper bomb, Wade and Reese. I love what they do.
Grandpa's, you set a record for
Grandpa's, the fresh
widow sandwich.
knishes,
width of mouth
all
opening.
these things. It explains why, even though I had lofty goals of diminishing weight at the beginning of the year,
Yeah, it failed.
even
Next year will be a
though
better year.
I, tried and I got out, did many walks of life. I got on the scale this morning and I am an abject failure, but I have to turn it around and say I have succeeded
Yes.
in consuming lots of great food and calories.
You do it
and
right.
I'm back to 240. Oh
You do
my
it right.
God,
All right.
it's not good.
We'll get you
That's
down there, man.
before the Thanksgiving.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get you down to
to
cruiserweight by the middle of March.
I think, what is that, 240 super heavyweight? Where are we at?
No, once you hit
Heavyweight.
heavyweight, that's it.
That's
It's
heavyweight.
over.
Yeah, unless you're in the Olympics.
There's no extra.
Okay, people have evolved size-wise. Well, today's 240s, yesterday's 160, is it not?
There you
So
go.
look at
like
it that way.
today's
Yeah,
71 is yesterday's 55.
No,
so
it's yesterday's 70.
all right. Well, with that being said, let me tear into
Get into that octopus
the
here.
octopus here.
Yeah.
They got all kinds of crunchy, good bits here.
I think it's like a sausage.
And the sauce. That's what they do here. They
Oh, like a
elevate
sausage?
the seafood. They've got.
Oh, look at that, man. That
It
looks
looks
good.
like a little
Yeah.
chorizo there.
Yeah.
yeah, chorizo.
Very nice.
Sausage is good. It's crispy.
What do you think, Mike
It's a
Mayo?
nice-
As
it's a
octopus
flavor
goes,
bomb.
It's a nice
yeah?
consistency.
There's so much going on, but it's all good.
And that's reasonable too, and all
Oh,
of this
yeah.
stuff, unbelievable.
Oh yeah, they come in here on the happy
Behind you, the
hours,
charred octopus behind you.
Grilled
$47.
lunches, $12.
and I got a full mouth. And
Very nice.
Defo,
Smoked
why don't
fish
you
dip
say
at
a few
11.
kind
Well, I was going to
words?
say, before, if you're talking about reasonable, before we go,
Yeah.
the place that, for some reason, as long as it's been around and as well known as it is, and as good a job as they do, they're a lightning rod on Let's Eat, which it's like Tua. Like that you do a good job, you're
Yeah.
respectful, so people in this day and age have to complain about you. Tropical Acres really fits that mold to me. And I'm really excited for the things they've done this year. That's another place. Look, my parents had always talked about it. I'm grateful to finally get to go to Tropical Acres. Over the last year, I've gone twice with you guys, and both times were an amazing experience. And the one thing I'll say, with all the complaining, none of them have talked about the happy hour, which I don't want to say it's my favorite part because they do a great job with everything. But the deals at a place like that, you're with your martini, but the sliders that they cook them to order, which you don't usually get with a slider.
Like $6 for sliders. You can get a Belvedere martini and the sliders in the bar during happy hour, 4:30 to 6:30, Tropical Acres, and you're spending less than $15. It's like $13. It's
Yep.
ridiculous.
And they don't rush you, they don't shoo you, which a lot of the time with the happy hour, they're
And
sort of
using
weird about
good,
that.
ground sirloin. It's not just ground chuck or
They'll
ground
make it
beef.
medium rare, which again doesn't happen with a slider.
I'm grateful for the Studiali family. I don't know
Oh,
about
they're
you,
terrific,
Defo,
yeah.
but
No, great people.
yeah, they do a great job. Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road, west of I-95 and the Fort Lauderdale Airport. Been there since 1949. And again, the happy hour in the bar, the early bird special, the half-price wine nights on Monday, Tuesdays.
Big. That's
They
big.
have the loyalty card. So for every 12 entrees that you get a purchase, you get 13
How many of those have
on
you
that.
cashed in?
Over the years?
Probably a lot, right?
I think like a full deck of playing cards, like 52.
You ever come in there with a party of 4 and give out 4 of those that are all, punched through?
I love Tropical Acres. People, you could, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but not their own set of facts. And the fact is, you will not find better value.
Yes.
Tropical Acres, tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Beautiful.
And we're done with all our spots.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's almost time to say goodbye. I can't believe.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show. That's something to be grateful for.
Well, what I'm grateful
Big
for is, again,
success here, yeah.
as a country is under snow flurries,
Yeah.
we're known for
Look
the
at
heat.
this.
We actually have a perfect combination of it's not too hot, not too cold. No better view than right here at Even Keel Fish Shack, especially today.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Just don't take a long walk off that short pier.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm walking straight north.
Are they going to rebuild it? Have you heard anything, local resident?
You know, the guy that owns the Anglin Pier restaurant there owns the pier.
He
This
owns
guy
the pier.
Spiro. And
did a good job maintaining it.
obviously, I think there might have been, there were suggestions that maybe some sabotage was involved. I don't know, because that storm was nothing, as we discussed on the show. But
We all know about self-sabotage, don't we?
But we'll see. I don't know. I would imagine they rebuilt it because it was a staple of the
Yeah, it was cool.
sort of whole vibe of being down here in Lauderdale by the Sea.
Yeah, no, this is a great area. If you haven't checked out Lauderdale by the Sea, you really should this holiday season. It's festive. There's so many different food choices, but the best place of all, especially to enjoy the bounty of the season. They get local products, local fish, and again, all the preparations are a little bit higher culinary end, but in the really relaxed, comfortable, casual setting. Even Keel Fish Shack. Thanks to Dave and Brad,
we missed you,
Jason,
Brad.
Great job,
the
man.
whole
Happy
crew
Thanksgiving,
here.
Great stuff today.
Come on out. They have a weekend brunch with bottomless drinks. They have all their frozen drink specials, the rosé, frosé, and all the other variants, one with tequila, one with rum. Even Keel Fish Shack, A1A, Commercial Boulevard. Great place to check out during this long holiday weekend. Hey, everybody, we're going to take tomorrow off. We are going to be back on Friday to do our Thanksgiving postmortems to see if anybody's turkey ended up in the back
Anybody's
canal.
still alive, yeah.
If I ended up maybe like in the
Going at it with
menu.
the
we had the uncooked fried turkey that time. That came out raw.
There you go. It's
Yeah.
always
We carved into it, and it was like you could see it was raw, and everybody's like, well, maybe we could try it.
it's not like steak. If you see
No.
pink in the middle of your bird,
This was dead raw.
do
Yeah.
not eat and throw it back in the oven.
I even heard it gobbling a couple of times.
Yes,
It
it's
said
still gobbling, not good. Buy yourself a nice little handy thermometer, oven thermometer. Make
Exactly.
sure it gets up to 165 before carving and eating it. All right, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Have a
everybody.
great
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
We'll see you again on Black Friday. If you're not shopping and just want to chill out and relax, watch some football, come stop by and hear about our various holidays on Friday. We'll see you then. Until then, enjoy every seafood feast and enjoy every sandwich.